Right, everyone, we are back with today's video. This is the fourth video in the series where we speak of rapport building and where we speak of how to have small talk with your colleagues or clients or anyone whom you meet. Okay, there's something very important we're going to discuss about. Today's session is going to be about being a good listener, the listening skills, because this is the major part when you want to build rapport. And without being a good listener, there is no rapport building at all. We cannot build rapport if we are not good listeners. And being a good listener doesn't only mean listening, there's a lot more to that. And I'll tell you how exactly you can be a good listener. So, there are some points we need to understand and we need to remember, out of which the first thing we have to be make sure is that we have genuine interest in them. So, show genuine interest. So, tell them that how you're interested. That interesting. Tell me more. I'd love to hear about that. Wow, that sounds fascinating. Can you elaborate? So, these are the phrases which you can use in order to show that you're genuinely interested. And not only the phrase, your tone should follow, your body language, your facial expression, everything should follow that you are interested. So, it's only genuine if you have all these aspects involved in saying that. For example, if I say, that's interesting, tell me more. No, this is not going to work. That's interesting, tell me more. This will work. If I say, I'd love to hear about that, this doesn't work. It's not genuine. I'd love to hear about that. We need to be excited. We need to show excitement. Okay. Remember what we discussed in the mentorship program is how you say it's more important than what you say. Okay. The next thing we have to consider is acknowledge their experience. For example, you say, it sounds like you have a lot of experience in that area. I can tell you're passionate about this. What got you into it? You must have some great stories from your experience. So, these are the phrases which you can use to acknowledge their experience. Another thing which you can do is that empathize and relate. Empathize with them. I can totally relate to that. I have been in a similar situation before. It's a complete normal to feel that way. It's completely normal to feel that way. So, it's how we can, if you show empathy, if you relate to things like this, people get connected. So we need to show that level of empathy so that we get connected. And the next thing we can do is that ask open-ended questions. What's your favorite part about the particular topic which they are talking? How did you get started with the interest which you want to speak about? What do you enjoy most about the hobby which they are talking about? So make sure you ask open-ended questions and not the questions which are intervening into privacy or very personal matters. We have to take this part and consider this part, give importance to this part, that we have to make sure that we are not intervening or interfering into the no entry zone, what we can say. So the next part we can focus on is share your own experience. I had a similar experience when I remember when I, so you share your experience, that reminds me of a time when again you tell an event which is in your past, maybe which you recall. And the next thing which you can do is compliment and praise. You're really knowledgeable about this. I admire your dedication, whatever interest you're talking about. You have a great sense of relate the quality which you sense, which you feel. So these are the phrases which you can use again, and this will make the conversation really memorable. They'll connect with you and they'll never forget the conversation. One more thing I have which you can do is that express curiosity. I'm curious to know more about the particular topic. I've always wanted to learn about the interest which you want to speak. I'd love to hear your perspective on, you give the topic for him in which he could give his perspective, making him speak on it. And then again, after that, what you can give response. So this is very important. If you're a good listener, that means you're giving good response. I hear you. That makes sense. I understand where you're coming from. Also, if you want to have them engage with you, then you have to give the positive engagement. That's a fantastic approach, and you're doing an excellent job. See, inflection here. Keep up the great work. Use the inflection to sound normal, and also use humor appropriately, depending on what kind of a person you're dealing with, what kind of a person you're speaking with. I can see I can see why that would be funny. Not I can see that how that is funny. No, we have to use the how we say element always needs to be given the priority. Uh, yeah, sorry, that I'm trying to read it. Yeah, I can see why that would be funny. I can see why that would be funny. This is how it should be, not ha ha. You have a great sense of humor. Thanks for sharing a laugh with me. Thanks for sharing a laugh with me, man. See? So ultimately, it's about we need to show interest in the person's thought, experiences, and feelings. If you do that, you connect with them. Ultimately, this is what today's lesson was, and hope you can give this a try. Appreciate again you type, uh, speak up in the group, share your voice messages, do the practice, and see you in the live session next Saturday, tomorrow.